Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here and welcome to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I cover my last week in gaming. So let's start with EVE Online. I think I played around average EVE Online, so the average amount I would say. Mostly mining, mostly focusing on my blueprint copy business because, well, you do notice that the summer slowdown is in full effect at the moment. Not only are a lot of players taking summer breaks, the devs are also on their summer breaks, and so the patch for August is pretty small. Activity is down a little bit. We did get the numbers, the economic numbers for July, but that also confirms that activity in the game in general is down a little bit. So mining is down, trade volumes are down, industrial output I think is also down. Surprisingly enough, destruction is still managing to hold on, but overall you do get a feeling that the summer break in EVE Online is in full swing. I think that doesn't mean that there's nothing to do in the game though, and as I've said, for me it's mostly preparation stuff. So we do have the new structures to look forward to. That means I'm trying to make some ISK, which I'm mostly doing with the blueprint copy business. That is going decently well, I would say. I'm making around 200 million ISK every week from the blueprint copies, and when it comes to the amount of effort that I have to put in there, it's really not that much, because I run copies of 2 blueprint copies with 5 runs on every one of those, and that takes around 3 days to create, and an Astra's blueprint copy also takes around 3 days. So I can basically just come in on those jobs every 3 days, move my blueprint copies to Jita, and then I do need to make trips to and from Jita maybe every 2 days, almost every day, to keep the sales up as much as I can. But it's going quite nicely. There's a decent amount of competition for some of the blueprints, but others are still selling for 15 million without any trouble. So I'm making a decent amount of money in a decently passive way, in my opinion. My other ISK-making activity is PI, because I am focusing a little bit on trying to still make some ISK. I have 6 planets going in Yona, and so whenever those get decently full, I unload everything straight to the markets, try to sell it at a good price. But when it comes to mining and minerals, it's more a preparation mode and not so much for the industrial array that should be coming in fall, but to make some actual ISK later on. So with mining activity decreasing but industrial activity decreasing even more, I think that was shown in the video on the economic numbers for July. We actually have much lower demand for minerals. We have minerals going to 6-month lows, a lot of them, and actually still going down, still under pressure from oversupply. So for me, this is the time where I say, no, I'm not selling the stuff that I'm mining anymore. I'm stockpiling everything, and I'm gonna wait for the right opportunity to sell those minerals later down the line. I actually think that the difference can be pretty damn big if you look at some of the charts, like the Isogen chart, like the Zydrine chart, which unfortunately just bounced back up a little bit. There's really a lot of ISK hanging in the balance just for the cost of a little bit of patience. But that does mean that I want to be ready for that. I want to have decent stocks, and since I can't spend a lot of ISK because I need a decent wallet for the blueprint originals for the industrial arrays, that means that I'm actually pretty incentivized to try to mine a decent amount, get those stocks ready on my own effort, and yeah, I'm basically trying to play both of those games, keep my wallet up, keep my wallet increasing so that I'm in a good position for the next set of structures, and try to build up stocks of minerals so that I'm in a good position when activity picks up, which with new structures coming, it should really mean a lot of industrial output, which should mean high demand for minerals. I should be ready to actually make a decent amount of ISK on the mining that I'm doing right now. And that's mostly what I've been doing in EVE Online. It's mostly preparations for the future. I'm totally looking forward to seeing how everything plays out. At the moment, I have a few stocks of minerals ready in Jita together with my Plex. I think they're valued at around 17 billion at the moment. I'm really curious to see what is going to be worth in the winter when, in my opinion, a lot of those are going to peak much higher than they are at the moment. The next game that I've played some of, I shouldn't say a lot or even average, is OVerwatch. So I did take a look at Lucio Ball. which is a special brawl that Blizzard introduced into Overwatch with the start of the Olympics. I think it's pretty fun. It is obviously, if not straight up copied, heavily inspired by Rocket League. So you play with 3 Lucio characters and you try to score goals with a huge ball that you have to kick around. I think it's pretty interesting mode. It's decently fun as well. What I did start to notice is that there is a pretty high ceiling for skill on this game mode. So me as a new player, I definitely started by losing a lot of games for my team. I didn't know what to do. So you need to learn the mechanics a little bit. It's still decently accessible. Play 3-4 games and you've got the hang of most of the basics. But you can also notice when you come across a team that is coordinated, that knows how to use and time the ultimates, that knows all the movement nuances of the game, that there can be a pretty high skill level to be attained in this Lucio Ball mode. So that does make it fun for a longer period of time. And as I've said in my first look at Lucio Ball video, I think it's great that Blizzard does this type of stuff. It's the added value that you do get in Blizzard games, where they continuously come out with interesting features, fun new game types, but very importantly with the Blizzard polish. All of this works perfectly. Response is great, the game looks great, runs great. That is why I am always willing to pay full price, or almost always willing to pay full price for a Blizzard game, because you know that you're getting value for your money. And Overwatch is proving that in spades, in my opinion. I also played a few quick play games in Overwatch. I just didn't have the energy for any ranked play. So yeah, just a little bit of Overwatch here and there. Just jump in the game, play a couple of fun games for like half an hour up to an hour, and then go back to doing something else, like some mining in EVE Online. The final game that I played last week, I actually played a lot of Elder Scrolls Legends. It's a card game, sure, it's like Hearthstone. I enjoy it. Honestly, I'm decently hooked by the game. At the moment, I'm definitely planning to keep up with the daily quests in the Elder Scrolls Legends, and I'm having a lot of fun. So at the moment, it's in open beta as well. If you're looking for a card game to start when it first comes out, then I would say give the open beta a chance, because the Elder Scrolls Legends, honestly, it is good fun for me at least. When you start out, you'll want to go through the story, the quest line of the Elder Scrolls Legends. It's pretty damn polished. It's pretty long as well. The videos of that will be coming out in the upcoming weeks. And it gives a really good introduction to all the different mechanics that the Elder Scrolls Legends uses. And there are some differences, some more complexity, I would say, compared to Hearthstone. And that is what I do like about the game. It's I don't know, it's a step up from Hearthstone, I would say. It's a bit more complex. It has the 2-lane mechanics. It has the mechanic where you potentially draw a prophecy card when you take 5 damage on your character, which can really turn the game around. That part is a bit RNG heavy, I do admit that. But yeah, I feel like this game will potentially have much more interesting deck building than Hearthstone. So that is one thing that I've been noticing now that I've started to keep up with the daily quest, and I'm actually doing some versus games as well. You don't get completely stumped by a one-sided deck that is focused on like the hunter decks that you saw at some point in Hearthstone, that were just build this deck, go for the face. That's all there was to it. And you either were very lucky as the opponent that you could have some taunts, some mechanics that would slow him down enough and then he couldn't beat you anymore, or by turn 4 or 5 you're basically done. I'm not seeing that in the Elder Scrolls Legends. I am seeing interesting mechanics. I'm seeing potentially very focused and specialized and interesting deck builds that you can do depending on the attributes, but I'm also seeing very strong delay tactics, very strong tactics to actually counter a lot of those mechanics. So yeah, I'm enjoying the Elder Scrolls Legends. I think it has potential, and it definitely has me hooked to the same point as Hearthstone had me hooked when I was keeping up with the daily quest and trying to enjoy the game free to play. So that is going to be, I think, the biggest challenge for the Elder Scrolls Legends. How long will it be able to keep my interest? What happened with Hearthstone, maybe I should quickly talk about that as well, is that I managed to play this fully free to play, and I constantly managed to build up my decks. When a new expansion came out, I had like enough gold for 20-30 packs, so I felt like I had a decent start when an expansion came out as well. And after that, I could earn all of the new cards, or most of the new cards, in a matter of a few weeks and months. And then by the time the next expansion came out, I was once again ready with enough gold to buy 20-30 packs, and so I could actually keep up with it. But at some point they came out with like an Explorers themed expansion, and I had 0 gold. I really hadn't had enough time to basically build decks on the previous expansion, or get ready with enough cards on the previous expansion. I still had to purchase card packs just to keep up with the meta. And as a result, I said, well, I feel pretty much forced to buy this expansion if I want to keep playing Hearthstone. And that's when I said, well, that's enough for me. I think I'd been playing the game for 2-3 years by that time. And I enjoyed it. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. But I kept up with the daily quest grind like for 99%, and at that point I did feel like, well, here they're basically forcing you to do a real purchase if you want to keep up. And that's when I said, okay, fine by me, I've had my fun, we'll focus a bit more on other games. You know, we had stuff like Skyrim, stuff like Fallout coming out, so I had no problem at all walking away from Hearthstone. The real question is going to be, the Elder Scrolls Legends, will they make it so that as a free-to-play player who actually keeps up with the daily quests, who plays the game daily and who tries to keep up with everything, will they support you? Will they give you enough ways of earning and making your own cards, or will they punish you at some point where they will basically skew their expansions or their business model to a point that they basically force you to buy card packs, or to buy an expansion, or to actually spend money, which personally I don't like. I didn't like it at that point in Hearthstone for sure. So that's going to be the challenge for the Elder Scrolls Legends. At the moment, honestly, I'm making a lot of gold, I'm earning a lot of cards. There are interesting upgrade mechanics in the cards going on as well. You have the soul stone, so you can actually create cards on your own as well. It's doing a really good job of keeping me hooked, keeping my decks, my cards evolving. You know, I feel like I'm making progress just by playing the game. And so from that perspective, yeah, the Elder Scrolls Legends, I'm enjoying it, so expect some content about it. And if you want to check it out, the open beta is going on right now, and Bethesda said that there would be no more wipes. So if you earn cards, you should be able to keep those indefinitely. That's it for this Sunday recap then, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.